military weapons. Thanks for watching and welcome back, where today we are talking all about the military forces of Israel, one of the most battle-trained armed forces in the world. Ever since its creation, the guiding principles of the IDF have been to shape the country's need to defend itself from its numerically superior neighbors. The primary element of this doctrine is the belief that Israel cannot afford to lose one single war. The IDF consists of ground forces, air force, and navy, and it is the sole military wing of the Israeli security force, having no civilian jurisdiction within Israel. The IDF served as Israel's armed forces in all of the country's major military operations, and the number of wars and border conflicts in which the IDF has been involved in its short history makes it one of the most battle-trained armed forces in the world. Of its budget for 2018, it ranked at $18.5 billion, including $3.1 billion in U.S. foreign military assistance. Here are some things you probably didn't know about the IDF. In 1965, the Israel Defense Force was awarded the Israel Prize for its contribution to education. It uses several technologies developed in Israel, many of them made specifically to match the IDF's needs, like the Merkava main battle tank, high-tech weaponry systems, the Iron Dome missile defense system, the Trophy Active Protection System for vehicles, and the Galil and Taber assault rifles. The Uzi submachine gun was invented in Israel, used by the IDF until December of 2003, ending a service that began all the way back in 1954.
Look at this. Look what I bring for him. Check it out, huh? Huh?
No.
$6,000, America.
Wow, looks so real. Sorry.
Ever since 1967, the IDF has had close military relations with the United States, which includes development cooperation such as the F-15L jet, the L laser defense system, and the Arrow missile defense system. The Israel Defense Forces are believed to have had an operational nuclear weapon capability since 1967, possibly possessing between 80 to 400 nuclear weapons, with delivery systems forming a nuclear triad of plane-launched missiles, Jericho-3 intercontinental ballistic missiles, and submarine-launched cruise missiles. Vegans in the IDF may refuse vaccination if they oppose animal testing. They're also given artificial leather boots and a black fleece beret. Until 2014, vegan soldiers who served received special allowances to buy their own food. When this policy was replaced with vegan food being provided in all bases, as well as vegan combat rations being offered to vegan combat soldiers. Israel is one of the 24 nations that allows openly gay individuals to serve in the military. Since the early 1990s, sexual identity presents no formal barrier in terms of soldiers' military specialization or eligibility for promotion. Until the 1980s, the IDF tended to discharge soldiers who were openly gay. In 1983, the IDF permitted homosexuals to serve, but banned them from intelligence and top-secret positions.
These next 6 weeks, I'm gonna bust you open like a fortune cookie. I'm gonna be all over your ass like steak on a monkey's behind. If there's something you wanna say to me so that they make you do to me, then let's have it out right now. No.
Of its personnel and military service routes, Israel's military forces have nearly more than 170,000 active personnel, with 465,000 reserve personnel. National military service is mandatory for all Israeli citizens over the age of 18, although Arab citizens are exempted if they so please, and other exceptions can be made on religious, physical, or psychological grounds. The military service is held in 3 different tracks, being regular service, which features mandatory military service that's held according to the Israeli Security Service Law. Permanent service. This is military service which is held as part of a contractual agreement between the IDF and the permanent position holder. And reserve service, a military service in which citizens are called for active duty at most a month every year for training and ongoing military activities, especially for the purpose of increasing the military forces in case of war. As well as this, there are times when the IDF will also hold pre-military courses for soon-to-be regular service soldiers. Israel is one of the only few nations that conscript women or deploy them in combat roles, although in practice women can avoid conscription through a religious exemption, and over a third of Israeli women do so. Of its military equipment, Israel's military technology is most famous for its firearms, armored fighting vehicles, armored bulldozers, and more, along with unmanned aerial vehicles and rocketry. The IDF possesses various foreign and domestically produced weaponry and computer systems, some gear coming from the United States, like the M4A1 and the M16 assault rifle, along with the M24 SWS 7.62 bolt-action sniper rifle, the SR-25 7.62 semi-automatic sniper rifle, the F-15 Eagle, the F-16 Fighting Falcon, and the AH-1 Cobra, along with the AH-64D Apache attack helicopter. Israel has also developed its own independent weapons industry, which has developed weapons and vehicles like the Merkava battle tank series, the Nesher and Kafir fighter aircraft, and various small arms like the Galil and Tavar assault rifles, as well as the Uzi submachine gun. Of its air power, it features a total aircraft strength of 595, with 253 fighters, 253 attacks, 18 transports, and a total helicopter strength of 146, with 48 attack helicopters. On land, its combat tanks rank at 2,760, with 6,541 armored fighting vehicles, 650 self-propelled artillery, and 300 towed artillery, along with 150 rocket projectors. Of its naval strength, its total naval assets are 65, with 4 corvettes, 6 submarines, and 37 patrol vessels. Be sure to tell us what you liked about this video in the comments below and what you'd like to see in the future. We appreciate you watching and hope that you enjoyed. Subscribe and come back for more in the future.